This video is about Helena Crevar. Alright, let's dive right into this. Picture this. You step out onto the mats in front of thousands of screaming fans. You lock in a brutal submission and you walk away with $100,000. That's exactly what went down at the second Craig Jones Invitational, setting the record for the highest prize money ever paid out in a women's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu event. But here's the truly crazy part. The winner? She wasn't some 30-year-old seasoned veteran who's been on the mats forever. She was 18 years old. Her name is Helena Crevar. And look, if you're thinking that record-breaking payday was just a fluke, check out what John Danaher had to say about her. And we all know Danaher is widely regarded as the most brilliant coach in submission grappling. He explicitly said her mindset aligns perfectly with the absolute best professionals he has ever coached. That's a huge statement. It proved she isn't just some flash in the pan. The man who essentially built the modern grappling game considers her an absolute peer to the world's elite. Today, we're going to reverse engineer the incredible journey of Helena Crevar. We'll break down exactly how this teenager absolutely conquered the jiu-jitsu world, the really unique obstacles she had to navigate, and most importantly, the specific lessons that we can learn from it all. Section 1. The Teenage Phenom. You know what's truly unprecedented here? It's the sheer scale of her current status. She is quite simply the best female on the planet. And hey, if you need the raw data to back up that hype, just look at this resume. A jaw-dropping competitive record of 345 wins and only 7 losses. And honestly, by the time you're listening to this video, she probably already has more wins. She's the youngest ever ADCC World Championship silver medalist, the 2024 CGI2 champion, and get this, in her black belt debut at the IBJJF no-ghee World Championship, she submitted all 4 of her opponents to take home the gold. Seeing this level of dominance at 18 is something the sport has literally never seen before. Section 2. The leap to Texas. Born to Serbian immigrant parents and homeschooled specifically so she could prioritize her training, Helena was thrown into martial arts super early. The real game changer happened at age 8, when she discovered Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. From there, it was an all-out sprint. By 15, she makes this monumental leap, moving to Texas to train with the absolute legends of the sport. The really crucial takeaway here is how she completely maximized her environment. She started out as a self-described human sponge, in her Las Vegas bedroom obsessively watching Gordon Ryan matches and studying Danaher's instructional DVDs. But then, her family took a massive leap of faith. They uprooted their whole lives and moved to Austin, Texas, so she could train live at New Wave Jiu Jitsu. I mean, think about that. She went from studying her idols on a screen to having Gordon and John physically there to help her every single day. Section 3. Overcoming mat obstacles. When you're a teenager fighting adults on the biggest stage in the world, the pressure is immense. When Helena was younger, she used to literally cry before matches because her nerves were so bad. But she made an incredible mental shift. She actively reframed those sensations. Instead of interpreting nerves as fear, she learned to process them as pure excitement. Beyond the mental side, there are also wild logistical obstacles. When you are as terrifyingly dominant as Helena, Finding people who actually want to fight you becomes a huge problem. So how does she solve this opponent drought? She just steps up. She routinely accepts matches at 145 or even 155 pounds, fighting much larger women just to get the mat time. She absolutely refuses to let a lack of willing opponents stall her momentum. Section 4. Earning the black belt. Usually, earning a BJJ black belt is a grinding 10-year journey. Helena basically sped ran the final ranks in 9 months. It's insane. First, she wins the purple belt no-ghee worlds. Then, just 6 months later, she wins the brown belt worlds in the gi. Because she stacked those consecutive victories, she completely bypassed the usual time in grade restrictions. That paved the way for John Danaher to finally tie that black belt around her waist. And that promotion was a massive piece of history. She became the first female black belt ever promoted by John Danaher. Section 5. The Helena Blueprint. So what does this all mean? Here is the distilled framework of her success. First, adopt that sponge mentality. Consume the details, listen to the experts, and constantly experiment. Second, study your own tape. You have to be willing to look at your past failures objectively if you want to fix your weaknesses. Third, build a unique personal brand. Helena works with sponsors like Tatami to design her own signature gear, making sure she stands out commercially too. And finally, do it for fun. She doesn't train because of pressure. She trains because she loves grappling, and to her, it's a giant puzzle that she intrinsically loves solving. If Helena Crevar can completely conquer the grappling world by age 18, what could you master if you truly adopted her sponge mentality today? If you're interested in watching a video of Helena Crevar in competition matches, then go and click the video on your right. Or, if you want to watch more videos like this, click the video on your screen on the left right now. Thank you. I'll see you next time.